I would see like a DPS low, but I would see it too late. Or sometimes I would miss a shot with my on BAP.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. We'll take a look at everything then. Just gonna screen share in 1 second. Um, okay. Do you have any other questions before we start as well?
No, not really.
Okay. Let's just start with the session, just reviewing that replay which you sent me. I'm screen sharing at the moment. Can you see everything?
Yep, all clear.
Nice. Then let's go in history. Gonna look to import. So this is the game. Ilios. Oh, nice. Okay.
I am. Where am I?
Um,
Yeah, there's I.
you playing Baptiste, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. So my first question would be, what do you think your role as support? Yeah, what's your game plan as support? What are you looking to do as support overall?
Um, I guess keep people alive.
Keep people alive.
I try to focus more on the tank. Or if I see it, I'm still gonna heal the DPS, but I feel like if I have to choose, I usually choose the tank.
Sure. I would say makes sense. How do you prioritize them? Let's say the tank is already not getting pressured. Maybe you don't need your health HP anymore. Yeah, you're healing anymore. What is our prioritization? How it would look like in general? What do you think by looking at your team composition?
I probably shoot him. I probably get a couple shots and then look to see again if anyone needs heals.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that makes sense to me. Yeah, I would say why not? Okay. Because now Overwatch 2 is really fast paced, and now you gotta be treating support more of a like a DPS character, but with the healing. So you gotta do a lot of pressure on
Yeah.
the enemy team, and this way, if you do the pressure in the right time and right place, you actually will be helping your team to survive. So sort of, let's say you shoot the Reaper, or you shoot the Surgeon, or you shoot the Soldier, I mean, and then you force them back. And if they force back, if they force behind the certain areas, behind the walls, then they will not be shooting your team. Yeah, the damage output is always higher than the healing output in Overwatch. So something to keep in mind. So okay, appreciate the aggressive shots there. Also pretty okay position at the start there on top. Why not? Now we keep an eye on anyone who is going aggressive. I see. Okay. Uh-huh. And then we kind of supporting our Hawk here. Also looking for some shots too. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so far, overall, this fight is like, okay, let's watch some more. Maybe then we can discuss something here. Okay. Also, if there are any questions, just in general, maybe some specifics, maybe some details which you want to know, feel free to ask those, okay?
Well, I guess one thing is I don't really know how to use App's ult that well, especially when there's like a widow and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll get to this part. So you're saying when there is a Widowmaker on the enemy team, right? That's kind of hard for you to use your window exactly, right?
No, like on ours, because it boosts
Oh.
damage, right? So I don't really know. Am I supposed to use it for me or like stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think once we get to the ultimate part, that is something what we'll discuss. I would say once you get it here, especially because we're pretty close. Overall, we can say that your ultimate is like the initiation tool, but a lot of times, yeah, I'm just thinking, okay, let's just look at one more fight, and I will think about the perspective with which we can use to review this, because there are a lot of concepts we can apply already to this map, to like what are we doing here on this map. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I would just start with the lamp, and then we get to the ultimate part. So like how you use your abilities, how you manage your resources. Yeah, let's just call it resources management when we are actively in the fight here, yeah? So let's think about now. So What do you think about your shift, your lamp as well? How do you usually use that?
For shift, if everyone like if I see people are generally low all around, I'll use it.
Hmm.
But other than that, I'll try to save it for myself if they have
Hmm.
like a Genji or something.
Okay.
And for lamp, I'll save it until I see someone about to go down where I know I can't really heal them. Or I'll try to use it for them. And otherwise, if nothing's going on, I'll just put it like behind a wall if we're in a choke or something, so they won't shoot it. And then just in case.
Okay. Okay. I would say makes sense. How do we recognize when to use lamp in this specific case, or maybe let's say, how do we even save like the teammate right there potentially? What your attention should be on, like to in order to do so? How do you even save this team in the first place? Because Overwatch is really fast-paced game, right? As we mentioned,
Hmm.
then
Yeah.
a lot of shots happening in just in 1 second. Your teammate can die, right? That's why there is some visual cues, maybe some sound cues, which we can look at in order to save somebody from our team. So let's maybe see that from the bird view as well, like right there. What do you think can trigger you to
Maybe as soon as I hear the hook, I guess.
Okay, so we can potentially react to the hook, but even before, what is there might be already something we should be looking at, even
So
before the hook starts.
Sojourn out of position, I guess.
A surgeon out of position. Okay, that's also something to keep in mind. What about the enemy team? What is maybe let's say really threatening right now for your team? Yeah, so there are a couple of things I would say which are threatening in the moment.
Hmm.
What can kill your teammate? Really?
Hog.
What? Mhm.
Hog.
Okay, Hawk can kill the teammate, but how?
Uh, like with the hook.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just asking simple questions.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay. I didn't know if it was a trick question.
no. It's I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh no, he's actually gonna do this 180-degree turn, and then he's gonna hook someone around the wall. No.
Yeah.
It's just simple. So you also
Okay.
keep
Yeah.
attention. I understand your thought process. Okay, so the Hawk is dangerous. We just mentioned that. Who else is dangerous now? By looking at this picture.
Maybe Reaper on the hog.
Yeah, the Reaper on the Hog, maybe like this group of guys. Potentially they just can maybe kill somebody with the most one. And that's where you gotta make a decision on what's more threatening. So what's more threatening now? The Hog or these guys there?
Probably the hog.
Okay. So the Hog is really threatening. How do you find out that the Hog is even threatened in the first place? What do we have to do to prevent this, big threatening
Uh,
guy from hooking somebody?
Maybe I should have peeked out to see him or preemptively throw one
Yes.
down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the concept, which is really important for your support, and it's especially important. Well, honestly, for any support, it's important to scout things specifically for you. How you can phrase it for yourself? Maybe what is the biggest threat for my team currently? Who can really kill somebody? Right. That's where you get in a fight, or maybe even just I'm thinking what is better for us to use. Yeah, okay. Let's just say right before we engaging, you can do the scouting part. So your team is about to engage already. Yeah, maybe even slightly just before that, potentially searching for information. How you can do that is by looking at somebody, like you mentioned, or you maybe even when you 15 seconds to the fight, you can also press tab, check what kind of things they have, and that's where you tell yourself, okay, what is in general really threatening for me, my team? That's where you most likely will see, okay, the Hog is the dangerous one, but then you also want to keep an eye on situation because whatever the enemy team do, it always has the context. Yeah, because right now these guys are being dangerous. Yeah, maybe, but at the same time the Hog is being dangerous. But who knows? Maybe the Moira is looking for the flank and almost getting a kill on somebody, like maybe your Zenyatta, maybe your Surgeon, just in theory, then she's also dangerous potentially. So you just want to anticipate that by looking at certain areas. It's like in the professional sports. In order to make a decision, you gotta look at a certain area.
Hmm.
There was a study even to just give you an analogy back in the days with the football players. There was a Ronaldo who tried to outplay the defender who had the ball. So defender had the ball and Ronaldo tried to outplay the defender. But then another player, like the new player, he also tried to do the same. And guess where the Ronaldo was looking and where the new player was looking? Where the attention was? Is it the field, ball, the player? What do you think?
Player.
The player. Okay, so who is paying attention to the player? The Ronaldo or the new
Ronaldo.
guy? Yeah, exactly. So he's paying attention to the player and his moves exactly, and that's what you want to do as well.
Mhm.
It's like in
Okay.
professional sport here. We can say if the hog's attention right now is over there, we assume okay, well, he also because he has the hook, he is looking, he's already threatening. That is something already to pay attention to, and that's where you don't even want to have this reaction crazy timing something like that because you read the field really well, you read what's the situation, what's going on in the game. You can just not react but do things accordingly, I guess,
Okay.
just right
Mhm.
before he's even throwing the ability at you. So yeah, like Ronaldo was looking when he was trying to outplay the defender, he was looking at the legs, the feet, etc., like the way the leg moves. If let's say the player is hitting the ball with the right leg there, that means the ball is going to move in one direction. If he's hitting it with the left, then it's going to move in another direction, and he can make those predictions based on the attention. So that is the same thing. It's just really really important.
Okay.
That's why I'm trying to explain this a little bit more. So if we were scouting, we could be reacting to that even before. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
And because you save your sojourn in this case with the lamb, then who knows, you win this fight even faster. Okay, so that's how resources management, and a lot of times it's based on your scouting, on the information you get. Yeah. So for example, now you can easily get an information on these guys that they actively being shot at. Yeah, that's why you looking to use your shift. So you see, okay, like these guys are being aggressive. Yeah, you notice the enemy hawk. He's looking for shots as well. So this shift is okay. Maybe it can be slightly better in terms of timing, but still, it's like fundamentally, it's doing the job. It's doing the thing. Just enabling, saving somebody who have been anybody who has been aggressive, and you saving your team from the biggest threat. What is really important? You want to support your team in locations where it's really threatening, like shutting down those threats, sort of dealing with them somehow. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe you can try to deal with them by shooting. Also, this is
Yeah.
bug. Don't worry about that. The orbs, this is just bug. So you can deal with this threats by shooting, or you can deal with the threats by just healing your team too. Okay, so that is where it's interesting. Now, the fight is over. What we have to do right before the fight yeah, right before the fight, right there. So when the
Should
fight is
I
over,
should I have been more in the middle to look who's coming?
more in the middle to look. Okay, so where do we
Like
look
behind that
exactly?
column?
Maybe, sure. So kind of looking around, right? Like just checking out
Hmm.
what's going on as well. Okay, so the fight is, well, it's just about like getting killing these guys. Like, so we 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're just looking for shots more and more. Okay, so that is actually right there. That is where the fight is really over. It was kind of a little bit longer fight because the the enemy team. I guess they tried to someone like the Moira. She tried to go in one more time, but anyway, this is why they can also do the scouting. So right before the fight, you can think, okay, what is the biggest threat I'm dealing with? Yeah, maybe two threats you're dealing with, but the way where they are. Yeah, so do you see the junkers over there? But then who is in general the biggest threat for you right before the fight starts again? Yeah, who is that
Hmm.
really threatening person? So we also, besides the hog, yeah, maybe what can also be threatening for our team?
Reaper.
Reaper. Okay, what about the other abilities? What other abilities we can also pay attention to? I mean,
Uh,
from the other members, yeah, on the enemy team.
like oh, I guess Anna sleeps
Yeah,
for
and a
antis.
sleep dart. Yeah, exactly, something like that. But just starting with the biggest stuff, really. What is really threatening? So the Reaper might be threatening, but if we just let's say, did scouting, yeah, around there. If I did scouting, we just check what's going on, and then we know, oh, okay. Then you suddenly know what to do in a fight. In a fight, I'm just thinking, okay. So remember how I mentioned that you have the steps such as scout, yeah, scout right before the engagement, okay?
Hmm.
And there is something else. What you want to do as well, right before the scouting, is setting up. Is setting up right before the fight because you want to have an advantageous position. And if you set up correctly, that what allows you to scout properly. Yeah, if you think about this right now, where we might set up on the map so we get more information on what's going on.
Um, maybe where the widow is. Like for
Mm,
me personally or the
yeah,
team.
only you, of course. So the widow is a good one. Why it's a good one?
You got high ground. You can see everything.
Yeah, exactly. We see the sidelines, we see the enemy team coming every possible direction. That what matters for you support to set up, scout, and then engage after that actively. Because you do have this position, you still able to support this group, but you also need to know what is happening not only because it's important for your team, but also it's important for yourself. If you know suddenly the Reaper is teleporting, guys, Reaper is over there, and see, because you have this position which allows you to scout this, you can also react. You see, your attention was on scouting, suddenly I can see this, and who knows, you can just get a kill on this guy, yeah, because he's
Mhm.
1 HP. See what I'm talking about? The
Yeah, yeah.
scouting just saves your life, not only like your life, but also your teammate's life. Okay. And then you solve this problem with the resources management because you have the you're doing this. That's what I like to call. Let's just go back. Setup, scout, and engage. That's engagement flow. Our engagement flow. That's how your engagement should look with any character. There are some specifics into it as well, but for us right now, it's just all about the fundamentals. Just kind of we start with the basics. Later we work on some more in depth, um, in depth specifics. So let's think now. Yeah, you take the position. So see what do we do with this is you set up. You take this high ground now because you set up. You can look to scout from this position, and that's where you think scouting for the biggest big threats, potentially trying to deal with them, trying to just deal with these guys. Let's take a look. So right now, is anybody really threatening for our team? Is anybody can kill your team?
Not really.
Okay, so should we be using the lamp then?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, so that is how you decide. Yeah, like again, we want to be supporting only when it's important, when only when somebody can kind of kill things. Yeah, if the hog
Mhm. Yeah.
it can look for the hook. He's in this hook range. We just see him. Okay, he's in the start of this hook animation or something. Then we can kind of react through our field, and yeah, our teammate will be safe now because the hog's attention is not there. So we know, oh, okay, like this guy's not looking to do things. Yeah, maybe the Ash attention is on this position though. But that's what you can do with scouting. You see the Ash is doing this, okay, but you still gotta anticipate like is anyone really like needs support now with the resources, right? No one's getting low or anything, nobody is getting shotted, I guess, well, because Dash is missing the shots too. But anyway, you see what I mean. Yeah, so like if they really threatening, if somebody is really threatening, that is something that we can talk about more, like how to decide that even easier. But yeah, you see what I mean, like these guys are
Mhm.
not bodies really dying, but we use the lamp, and who knows, that might be a deciding factor in the future. Just in general, of course we still win this fight. I really like the mechanics part. I would say is going well. I also like us going for aggressive shots, so we're not just only healing, right? We looking for this aggressive place as well. It's just, I would say, the scouting part and like setting up part
Okay.
consistently will help you much more deciding on what you have to do. It's just gonna be helping you much more. Yeah, so let's just see if we get to that position even. Okay, so yeah, that is something to think about. Yeah, almost like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, the hog is about the hog is about to be threatening, right? But how he's being threatening? Yeah, he just grabs you. Yeah, he just hooks you.
Yeah.
And if he hooks you, that means you will be out of the lamp range. Something to think about too. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we can do this, maybe, of course, but oh, actually, there is a bug as well. I'm not sure if it's working, but sometimes you can actually block the hook with the lamp itself. So the
Oh.
lamp, yeah, I don't know. No, actually, I don't think about this though. It's just really specific detail, but really, anyway, that's something to think about because the hog is threatening when he hooks somebody. I don't think maybe using the lamp is like really right play. Maybe you can wait slightly, like
Mhm.
mm, we mentioned earlier. Oh, sorry. There's the messages on the WhatsApp. I'm just gonna just gonna turn this off. Turn this off.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, let's try to summarize, let's say, because that is just the short
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
preview. We can try to summarize everything and think what we can work on, what we can improve on. What do you think?
Um, doing more scouting so I can know when someone is a bigger threat, so I can like properly use my resources,
Okay.
and I guess just identifying threats so I can know who to help.
Identifying threats. So how do you do that?
Setting up,
Setting up.
setting up and scouting before engagements.
Exactly. Setting up scouting, and then you can go for this thought process when you're scouting. Who is, well, in general, who is threatening, just in general, and then who is gonna be really certain in the fight, right before the fight, when something's happening, what should I put my attention on a little bit more? We can elaborate on this topic, of course, in next sessions too. It's okay if you're gonna have
Mhm.
any questions as well, just in general about these concepts or about anything in Overwatch. Then feel free to message me. And yeah, so far for today's session, do you have any questions about anything? Oh, we didn't mention the window usage. Yeah, I just wanted to mention it. How you use that? Well, you still apply the same concepts, but to just give you an idea, because we have this window. Okay, I'd say like about now. Okay. So first of all, the question was, can you use it for yourself? Yes, you can, a lot of times. And I would say something what we should be discussing with the window is the next concept, which is called map control. How you can use it, like why using it for yourself is actually good. I can explain it maybe later, but for you just as a kind of brief discussion, brief advice with your ultimate, with your support to ultimate in general, try to initiate with your ultimate a little bit more and think again where the fight's happening. So think about it like this way. Let's think about it from perspective of what we just mentioned. You want to support your team in doing something, from saving them from this biggest threat and support them to do something actively, right? And right now, see, the fight is happening in this area, right? So that is where
Yeah.
most of them are doing something actively, and that is where actually the enemy team, they do something actively as well. So that is where the threat is coming. Yeah, there are a lot of threats from the hog, especially from the hog, and from these guys too. So everybody is fighting in this area, and that's where you can think, oh, okay, this happens. You did it with the scouting. You realize that is this your fighting area, and then you can be thinking about supporting your team directly with your ultimate. Like maybe you can heal through the ultimate, or you can shoot
Does
the
it
enemy
increase
out.
healing?
Yeah, it does. It does. It does.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you do the shoot because it increases the amplifier, it amplifies any projectile. So it actually increases your thing too, like the healing too. But
Mhm.
it's not the main thing I would say. The main thing is damage in Overwatch. So if you shoot an enemy, you shoot them out, they hide, and your team is not taking damage. So right now, that is where the real fight starts. That is where the most of your team are doing something, that is where someone can die. So use your ultimate, initiate with that. That
Okay.
is all pretty much. You can use it for yourself too. We can talk about the specifics slightly later.